Thank you for inviting us to speak. I have been asked to read the letter that has been sent to the group that David just mentioned, dated today, September 26. Dear Governor Corzine, Senate President Cody, Speaker Roberts, and members of the New Jersey Civil Union Review Commission. We 30 couples, all residents of the state of New Jersey, have gotten civil union under the civil union law that took effect in February. We are among the more than 300 civil union couples who have been denied equal benefits by an employer in New Jersey. Several of us are testifying during the 3 hearings of the Civil Union Review Commission in September and October. When the civil union law took effect, public officials promised us that the new law would be equal to marriage in all but name. That has turned out not to be the case. Our society, even in a progressive state like New Jersey, does not understand or accept civil unions like it does marriage. The law's deprivation of equality has wreaked its worst havoc on same-sex families with fixed incomes, particularly in health care. Because employers in New Jersey are not recognizing civil unions on a consistent basis, the civil union law has, in effect, established one system of health care coverage for same-sex couples and another for straight couples. To all same-sex couples, the failure of the civil union law tells us that New Jersey does not respect our families equally. In a state where we all pay the same high taxes, straight or LGBT, this paradox pickpockets our dignity. Public officials have been quoted as saying the state government has not received many complaints about the law. With all due respect, that's not a fair argument to make. The agency before which several of us will testify, the Civil Union Review Commission, has no budget and thus little ability to advertise its existence. Even older agencies in state government, like the Division on Civil Rights, are not known by the average citizen. They have comparatively scant budgets to get the word out. Indeed, couples like us have not filed complaints with state government because we didn't know where in government to go. We, like other civil union couples denied equality, have gone to advocacy organizations because we know who they are and how to find them. We actually wonder whether the complaints received by these organizations constitute a significant underestimate of the problem. How many other couples don't know to complain even to them? And how many other couples won't complain to anyone because they are afraid of employer retaliation, however prohibited by law? Governor Corzine, Senator Cody, Speaker Roberts, and members of the Civil Union Review Commission, newspapers across the country, including the Star-Ledger, the New York Times, the Washington Post, the Philadelphia Inquirer, the Bergen Record, the Charleston Gazette, and several others, have now run investigations of the New Jersey civil union law's failure. Cumulatively, these investigations have mentioned many more couples by name than have complained to state government. Thus, the public record has provided ample evidence to assess and correct the civil union law by replacing it with real marriage equality. We have read reports that public officials believe marriage equality in New Jersey is a matter not so much of if, but when. We plead with you to recognize that more than an electorally sensitive timetable is involved here. The failure of the civil union law has affected our lives deeply. It's not a political issue to us, but a personal one. The law's failure is harming not only us, but also the children of us who are parents. We cannot wait for the equality that the civil union law was supposed to provide, but does not. We ask you, Governor Corzine, Senator Cody, and Speaker Roberts, to accelerate your timetable for marriage equality. The evidence of the civil union law's failure has been in newspapers all around you. Our families need marriage equality. We ask you, the members of the Civil Union Review Commission, to recommend to the legislature that it expedite passage of a marriage equality bill. Thank you. And this is signed by the 30 couples that were mentioned earlier. And as David said, my name is Richard Cash. This is my partner, Craig Ross. We are one of the couples that's testifying. We've been together 5.5 years, civil union since April, and very quickly our story began when I was notified that my position with a Fortune 500 company would be eliminated at the end of last year, which of course meant I lost my health care coverage, although I went on to COBRA. At that time, Craig and I had started making plans for our civil union, hoping that perhaps his company would recognize it and provide me coverage through his plan. He contacted them in February through their HR department asking for clarification on their policy regarding providing medical benefits to civil union partners. And at this point, I'm going to let Craig take over and tell you the story.
Hi. Like Richard said, we got civil union on April 12th. Before I even get there, my company is a Fortune 500 company. They're based out of the upper Midwest. We provide information management services to financial and insurance industries. There's 23,000 employees worldwide, and I've been employed with them for 22 years. I work from home, but there are 6 New Jersey locations here that the company has with over 600 employees. It took 9 weeks for them to get back after I initially asked in February whether we would be able to get coverage for Richard. It took them a long time to come back. They eventually came back. I got a phone call and was told that they would not provide benefits. I asked them to provide a written summary of why not. Basically, I wanted a record of the phone call. And I'm going to read you a couple of excerpts just to show you what real companies are thinking, or how they actually treat the civil unions. The first part was, New Jersey legislation regarding civil unions will not have an impact on the plans in which you participate. The company's health, medical, and dental PPO are self-funded plans. As such, they are governed by ERISA, which preempts mandates by individual states. That was kind of what I was expecting, so I'd also asked whether I'd be eligible to change my plans mid-year as they allow with marriage. Their response to that was, ERISA also governs the provisions of the special enrollment rights. So in this case, a civil union ceremony will not be considered a special event in which the employee can switch medical or dental plans mid-year. So they're looking at it as a ceremony, not even as a relationship, a legal standing. It's just a ceremony to them. It's just words. To add insult to injury, I was doing a little research today, and I discovered that since I got that phone call, my company has changed their definition of spouse when it comes to health benefits. Before, it used to mention that the state, they would recognize certain states' definition of spouse. Now it reads, spouse means your legal spouse who is a husband or wife of the opposite sex in accordance with the Federal Defense of Marriage Act. Pretty much shutting us all down. And to really add insult to injury, there's one final clause on the definition, and it says, in addition, for residents of California, the term spouse includes a registered domestic partner. Now, I've got to ask, what has California done that New Jersey hasn't that compels my employer to do the right thing? And I plead with New Jersey, please, at the very least, do that. Calling our relationship and legal status a civil union, I believe, gives my company an easy out. Calling it what it is, marriage, makes a denial of those benefits obvious for what it is, discrimination. Thank you.